Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're taking an in-depth look at a Modulus Quantum Q5, sent to us by one of our viewers. Let's check this thing out. This is a Modulus Quantum Q5, and it needs no introduction. Modulus is known for making their carbon fiber necks and have made basses for such famous bass players as Phil Lesh, Mike Gordon, and Flea. This particular example is from the year 1998, but you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at it. The Quantum design has largely gone unchanged, and that's because it is a very timeless design in my opinion. These are great looking instruments. This one has a swamp ash body paired with a 5A quilted maple top in a gorgeous transparent orange, and this is a beautiful instrument. For electronics, we have two EMG DC humbuckers paired to an EMG BQS or BQC preamp. This preamp is actually very similar to the preamp we put in our EMG SUB in the Ultimate Stingray mod guide, featuring a stacked bass and treble control as well as a stacked mid and mid-frequency control. This is a very good preamp, and that is tied to a master volume and a master blend control. The bridge appears to be a Hipshot A-style bridge, and it is a great bridge. Honestly, it works here perfectly. The neck is a 35-inch scale carbon fiber neck with a 24-fret fingerboard here. The Modulus logo is down at the bottom of the neck, looks really good. And the neck pocket is actually very deep, goes all the way to the neck pickup. That means this neck is very well attached to the body here, making for some great sustain. Turning the bass around, you can see the gorgeous carbon fiber. This has a really cool design in it. Not the typical carbon fiber pattern that you see in other carbon fiber necks or just carbon fiber applications in general. These graphite necks are very, very unique looking. I believe it's a very special process that they do. I don't know the specifics of carbon fiber. I'm not a scientist, but I do appreciate both the aesthetics as well as the functionality behind them. Now around back, you can see the beautiful swamp ash body and the rather large control cavity here. There is no battery door, but again, this bass is 22 years old, so I can give it a pass there. Up at the headstock, you have lightweight Godot-style tuners in a 3-in-2 configuration, and that is pretty much it. But man, look at this neck. This thing is beautiful. Now I know you're all wondering, what does this bass sound like? You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and pinch that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Wow, this thing is awesome. Modulus has been such an iconic bass manufacturer for a really long time, and I've honestly never played a Quantum before. One of our viewers who's local was generous enough to lend me this bass for a few weeks, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I've never played a Quantum, as I just said, and this is really awesome. I've played a Flea bass a couple of times, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, but beyond that, I almost forgot how awesome these things were. Just the feel of these carbon fiber necks with the beautiful gloss finish, just the really tight feel and sound, and whew, these things are awesome. Now let's take a deeper dive into these electronics. We do have a master blend control and then a 3-band preamp with a variable mid selector. I believe this was one of the more feature-packed preamps of the time that Modulus offered. They had the 2-band preamp as well as the Bartolini preamp as an option at this time, I believe. So let's start with the neck pickup. B string. That B string has such definition. Listen to that. That's a good B string right there. This is nice. This is really nice. Oh man. So that was with the preamp at center. Let's go ahead and bring everything down. Woo! Even with the preamp all the way down, it still sounds very, I don't know, piano-like almost. This is a very, very, very good instrument. So as I mentioned before, the mid control is actually paired with a mid frequency control, and that comes into effect when you're either boosting or cutting the mids. And since the mids are cut right now, let's see what this sounds like. Now let's go ahead and bring the bass up to center, see what that sounds like. Everything else cut. And here's the bass boosted all the way. Whew, that's overloading my amp a little bit. I think that's more on the amp end than the bass end. I'm going to go ahead and bring that bass all the way down, and let's bring the mid up to center. It's crazy to think that this is an EMG preamp that's 22 years old, and it's still kicking. And not just kicking, but it's doing real good. Let's go ahead and boost the mids all the way and play with this mid frequency control a little bit. A lot of different tones in there. That's good. That's real good. I'm going to go ahead and bring that all the way back down, and let's boost this treble control. Here's the treble at center. Very nice, very nice. And here's the treble all the way up. Instruments like this definitely stand the test of time. I was 10 years old when this instrument was made. That's crazy to think. Now, let's move on to the bridge pickup. Here's that with the preamp centered. Oh yeah. Man, both of these pickups sound great both together and soloed. Awesome instrument here. Now let's go ahead and cut everything and play with this mid-frequency a little bit. Now here's the bass control at center with everything else cut. Very nice, very nice. And here's the bass at about 50%. And here is... Now let's bring that back down and bring the mids up to center. And here's the mids at 100%. Man, this preamp with the variable mid control is so flexible. You can really tailor this tone to be exactly how you want it. Now here is the treble control centered. And here's the treble control, boosted all the way. Let's bring that back to center and bring everything else up to center and get the neck pickup back into the mix. Here's both pickups with the preamp 100% centered. Man, this tone is so full yet so defined. It's not like boomy and it's not harsh, it's just like good. I like it. So that was the preamp centered. Let's go ahead and bring everything down and play with this mid control a bit. just the bass centered with everything else cut. And here's the bass boosted to about 50%. Now let's bring that back down and bring the mids up to center. And here's the mids at 100%. Let's play with this mid frequency control. And let's cut that and bring the treble up to center. And here's the treble at 100%. Now let's bring that back down and bring everything else up to center and see how she slaps. Yes, she slaps. Finally, let's throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the Modulus Q5. Whoever said don't meet your heroes is full of crap. This thing is awesome. Carbon fiber necks, in my opinion, rule. I think they're both awesome looking as well as extremely functional, especially in places with such variable climates like New England here. So it can get really hot in the summer and really humid as well as really dry and cold in the winter. And having an instrument that is basically immune to those changes makes a big difference in the long-term ownership experience, in my opinion. And Modulus is one of the pinnacle carbon fiber instruments up there with Status and now G. Gould, one of the founders of Modulus, I believe. So these basses are extremely top tier quality. The electronics are awesome, the build quality is top tier. The look of the neck and the feel of the neck is amazing. I mean, these things are so cool. Yeah, this is an awesome bass. Now, I'm not going to give this bass a rating because it is a 22-plus-year-old instrument. However, you still can buy these new, but they're very expensive at over $4,000. So be prepared to pay a pretty penny if you want to get your hands on one of these brand new. Now, is it worth it? In my opinion, I really can't say, because basses at this price point are less about a bang for the buck and more about going on a personal bass quest for your ultimate instrument. These companies like Modulus, G. Gould, anything that makes, you know, multi-$1,000 instruments, they're out there to make the best instrument they can, period, for their players. And companies like Modulus have built an identity around a specific type of bass. So you either want a Modulus or you don't, and those who do will spare no expense to get the one that they want. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this Modulus Q5. And as always, until we groove again.